welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are new here on this channel, I speak about mind, faith, and hope. This is a ministry of mind, faith, and hope. And so I ask you to subscribe so that you can help spread the gospel of Christ. And if you have already subscribed, thank you very much for always coming back to support this channel. First of all, let me begin by sharing a scripture from Romans chapter 12 verse 2 that says, "Do not conform any longer to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind, so that you can test and know God's will, his perfect will." From that scripture, I realize that it is God's will for us to have a renewed mind. A mind that is full of peace, a mind that is full of liberation and freedom, such that we are not trapped in negative thinking. Why am I saying this? It is because I received salvation many years ago when I was still a child. Actually, it was my elder sister who preached to me and led me to Christ. So I gave my life to Christ when I was still a child. But throughout that journey of my salvation, my mind had not been renewed because I was still trapped in negative thinking. And it is not God's will for us to have a trapped mind in negative thinking. Because once we receive salvation, then we need to start thinking thoughts of faith, thoughts that give us hope, thoughts that encourage us. But for so many years, I had been trapped in negative thinking patterns, because in everything or most of the things that happened in my life, just normal things or normal challenges that people go through, I realized that my mind had developed a pattern of negative thinking. And for that reason, it kept me trapped in anxiety. So I have struggled with anxiety for so many years, to the point where I was put on anxiety pills. Unfortunately, these anxiety pills never worked for me. They were actually making me feel very worse. Therefore, I made a decision in my heart to stop. If you're going through the same experience and you're using pills, please, I'm not asking you to stop, but I'm just sharing my experience. I had to stop because they were not helping me at all. And I made a decision with a strong will in my heart that I have to fight, because I only had two options. Either I allow myself to sink into depression, or fight and regain victory over my mind. And so I began fighting from a place of a strong will, from a place of I have resolved that this is what I'm going to do. So I went into scripture reading scriptures that speak about anxiety, speak about fear, scriptures that encouraged me, scriptures that helped rebuild my faith. I also went online and I was listening to videos of faith building messages, and also I kept on praying day and night. Every time I emotionally felt not so well, I went on my knees and kept on praying. Locked myself in my room, kept on praying. To some point, I decided to get into a period of prayer and fasting. So I prayed for like 3 days, just doing a dry fast about my situation, trusting God to deliver me from anxiety. So as I kept on praying, God made me understand that there was only one way that I was going to overcome anxiety. And that was if I took control over my thoughts, and also took control over my emotions and my words. And with the time, I have come to learn that whatever you think, there is an emotion that comes with it. And as you think something, then you formulate words. And so in everything concerning that, I just had to take control over my thoughts. I did not know how to go about that. I did not know how to control my thoughts so that I can control my emotions and my words as well. I kept on praying and trusting God to help me and bring me deliverance. With the time, I started learning to develop a habit of self-observation. I started learning how to observe my mind. That is, what am I thinking? I also started learning how to observe my emotions. How am I feeling? And I have realized that when you are feeling emotionally bad or negative, definitely there is something you have thought that is not right. Something you have thought that is negative. And that has really helped me. Every time I feel anxious, every time I feel angry, all those negative emotions, I just go back into observing my mind. What am I thinking? And that has helped me. And so I have realized that salvation is one thing, but getting a renewed mind is also a different thing. So having a renewed mind is not something that happens immediately you receive salvation. No. It is something that comes by you making that decision to take control over your mind and to do it every day. So for you to live a life as a child of God with a renewed mind, you need to make a daily habit of self-observation. Always observe your thoughts, your emotions, because your thoughts give rise to your emotions. Your thoughts give rise to your words. So if your thoughts are negative, your emotions will be negative and your words will be negative. And if your words will be negative, then your faith will be weakened. Children of God, I want to challenge you today. Develop a habit of self-observation. Get your mind renewed and you'll experience divine liberation within you. If you haven't subscribed, I remind you once again, please subscribe and help spread the gospel of Christ.